So something I want to have a go at is making a scrambler grill for this. First I need to make a ring and then fill it in with whatever mesh or however I decide the pattern's going to be, and then some tabs on the side to locate it onto where the headlight mount is. So the first things first, I need to make a ring, and I need to make a ring out of something like round bar, steel round bar. So I have a bit of round bar in mind. It's a little bit thinner than this stuff here. I think it's only like 4mm. So I'll grab that out and then I'll work out how I'm going to make it perfectly round. So a little bit of steel pipe that I have here should do the trick, hopefully. It's 140mm diameter, and I need about 170 or nearabouts. If I was to make it the same size as the light, then this is millimeters. I think it's 6.75 inches is what the actual light is, so I want it to be probably a little bit smaller than that. So the idea is to basically have it hanging out that way, vice grip it, and then bend the actual round bar around this pipe, and then just let it go, and hopefully it'll bounce out a little bit, and then I can sort of manipulate, I guess, you know, bend in and out as it's complete. Anyway, I'll give it a go, see what happens. It can only not work, can't it? So not really anything to lose, and I've got the round bar anyway, so this will be a good test to see if it works. So that actually didn't work out too bad. The only thing is it's probably a little bit big, so if I was to shrink it down by squeezing it together, it could possibly get to the diameter that I want. And the only thing that I would be worried about doing that is I'm probably taking it out of round. It's not going to keep that nice round shape. So I might put this back on the pipe and then just continue bending a little bit more around till about here, so that then these two are going to be perfectly round, and when I chop them together, then I can weld them up, know exactly where the spot is where it can be perfect. So overall, that's pretty good. I just need to work out if I can make it a little bit smaller. So I really want to make this look like it's made for the bike, which it is. So I only want to cover the glass. I don't want it overhanging past the glass. So I'm thinking if I can make the inside diameter around 150mm, that should be perfect. So I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but the line of the circle is here. It's touching on this side, but it's quite a bit smaller than it needs to be brought in. And by doing that is obviously going to distort the roundness of this. So rather than continuing with this piece and trying to bring it in, which I could possibly do, I'm going to have another go with a smaller piece of pipe. I have a smaller piece of pipe that I can bend it around from another project that I was working on. So I'm going to do that first before I even think about playing with this, and I do have another piece of this as well. So So unfortunately I didn't realize, but my battery had died while I was finishing welding this up. But it's just more of the same, so it's an absolute breeze to weld this. This is not that fine, but it's fine enough to really not be able to do it with anything but a TIG. I guess you could MIG it, but it'll be a massive mess. And the 185 Ultra SIG weld machine is an absolute breeze because it's so smooth. So the only problem that I had was obviously human error. There's a bit of a massive glob just there from what happened was the wire started to burn back. I had the tungsten facing towards it and it burnt back that fast. I tried to chase it and then I ended up with a big blob. So I've got to grind that one down, and there's another one down here where you can probably tell if you're into welding, you've done welding before, any TIG, you'll know exactly what that is. The tungsten touched, and then you know, that was basically end of that. So I've got to try and fix this one up here and also grind that one back and tidy it up, but the rest of them perfect. Obviously there's, you know, some cleaning up to do, but apart from that, I'll clean it up. What I'll do is I'll clean it up with a sander first and then just tidy up all the little things that I need to fix. Hopefully there won't be too much problem. So what I've made these out of, these brackets, is a 3.2mm stainless steel rod, like welding rod, and I've just chopped them and bent them to the shape that I want. So just about to tack them. They only need a tack here and here. They're going to be super strong for what it needs. It's just a pretty much protective cover for a headlight, so there's no structural need for it to be any stronger than that. So let's get these tacked on both sides and see how it fits up on the bike, and we'll probably still have to do some manipulating and bending and twisting to get it to sit flush, but yeah, let's give it a go. So I've just mounted that up to see what it's going to look like, and as you can see, the top sits out a little bit further than the bottom. It is all pretty much straight in the middle. Everything's sitting exactly where it needs to be height wise and left to right. It's just that little tiny little bit of kick at the top. So what I'll do to correct that is I'll make a chop here and then bring that back and then weld that back up again, and that'll fix that problem. Alternatively, there is another way. I could probably put a little bit more kink in this top one here, so bend this out a little bit further, which will in turn bring that in. I don't know, I'll play around with it just to see what's going to work best, but overall I'm pretty happy with it. I think it looks good.